today I'm officially a YouTube creator for 1 year. Wow, who would have thought it? That is amazing. Yesterday, if you watched the weekly vlog, it was my 50th upload of the weekly vlog, and in total I've uploaded, made some notes, 94 videos, including yesterday's and today's. So wow, firstly I'm amazed that I've made it this far, and secondly I'm amazed that all you guys are still with me watching. You know, we're growing very, very slowly. Our little family, our little community is we're a tight bunch, and you know, I'm absolutely loving the experience so far, and I'm looking for many more years on however long the platform survives for. So I thought to mark the occasion, I would share with you some of my tips, tricks, misconceptions that I had about starting a YouTube channel, because from time to time, especially on my Instagram, other sort of creative people have reached out to me with questions about how did you start, what do you need, you know, how does it work. So I thought, okay, I can mark 12 months on YouTube with a little video on that. So if you stick around to the end, I'm also going to cover some of the YouTube channels that I've been watching, some of them for many years and some of them are quite new. And you know, if you've been watching my content, I'm pretty sure that most of them will be right up your street. Okay, let's begin with my list. So the first recommendation I would make to you, and it seems a bit obvious, but make a plan. If you want to be consistent with uploading regularly, and when I say regularly, at least once a week or once every 2 weeks is considered regular in YouTube terms, you need to be thinking about the kind of content that you're able to make. And when I say the kind of content, it's got to be things that you're passionate about, you're knowledgeable about, and that you can maintain. You've got to speak from the heart, because obviously, you know, if you've no clue what you're doing, your channel would very quickly turn into a comedy channel, or people just wouldn't watch you anymore. So I sat down and made a little plan, very, very basic, and I listed things that I could do. So my plan was, okay, I can talk about daily family life, living in Holland. I could also do some traveling things, because, you know, obviously we do travel around Holland, and also because we're on mainland Europe, you know, we do get in the car and drive to other countries quite often. And I'm also an avid crafter, so I could combine talking about my crafts and also do the occasional tutorial on things that I like to do. So they are things that I'm passionate about, and also I am knowledgeable about, and things that, you know, I thought, okay, I can stick to these. So it's all about, you know, what can you commit to? Once you've sat down and made your plan, the next thing you need to consider is equipment. Now, please don't pay attention to all these massive YouTubers who have these big ring lights and they're walking around with cameras and microphones in their hands. These are expensive, and in my opinion, when you're just starting out, they are completely not necessary. I have filmed every single one of my videos on my Android phone. I started out with a Samsung Galaxy S9, and now I'm with a Samsung Galaxy S10. I think you're getting a pattern here, I like Samsung. I don't have any special microphone. I have often propped you guys up on cans of paint, stacks of books, shelves, windowsills, you name it, you've been pretty much perched on everything. The only thing I have invested in is a tripod, because when you're doing YouTube tutorials and you want to do like overhead shots, then, you know, obviously you can't perch your camera on something precariously. So in terms of editing, I do actually have some software that we purchased, and again, that was for William because he really, really wanted to vlog a while ago, and he does occasionally some gaming vlogs, and as he's no longer using it, I'm using it. It's something called, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, it's called Movavi or Movie AVI or Move AV, not sure. There'll be some text below me so you can read it for yourself. This was under €100 or $100. The only thing I will say with that is it's a little bit expensive in that they're constantly upgrading it, but we've been using the same version for 12 months now, and it's perfectly adequate for my needs. If you don't want to invest in anything in terms of software, most of your Android phones these days will have something in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, or even there'll be basic functions in your camera editor that you can do basic clipping, you can overlay some text, and you can also overlay some music. So I suggest if you are going to film on your phone, you Google your phone and what capabilities you've got. Also look on YouTube, because chances are other people will be using the same phone as you have, and there'll probably be a tutorial for that. So in terms of equipment, please don't invest in anything at the beginning, you just don't need to. So once you have your plan and you've covered your checklist of equipment, then you need to open a YouTube account if you haven't done so already. And in the YouTube studio, there are so many resources for you to use before you even begin to film and upload anything. There's the Creator Studio has like a kind of academy. There's lots and lots of videos and tutorials. There's even some classes like online lessons that you get certification for. There's a lot of information in there. You must get into the practice of using it regularly, because there's always news and actually information as a creator that you need to be aware of too. Also in the Creator Studio, you have a dashboard, so you can keep an eye on, you know, the reach, who is clicking on videos, the watch time, if you have new subscribers, if you're losing subscribers. So, you know, there's a whole wealth of resources in the YouTube Creator Studio that you should definitely research before you start to upload anything at all. So the next thing I wanted to cover is uploading. So one of the misconceptions I had, I don't know why, it was just something I automatically assumed, that when you upload a video, it's instantly live, it's out there straight away. That is absolutely not the case. You have a scheduling system in your account, so you can upload a video and then you can schedule it to be public in an hour, in a day, in a week. You're in total control of when your content actually goes out into the public domain, and you're free to take it down at any given point you wish to. And even when something has been published, you do have basic editing capabilities, such as changing the title. Maybe you notice a spelling mistake in the description, maybe you want to add another link. You know, it's quite flexible what you can do when you're scheduling or uploading your videos. The next thing is more of a recommendation. I would say to you, ask other creators, ask other vloggers, ask other uploaders how they do things. Don't go for the bigger channels, because often they get hundreds, if not thousands of comments, and you know, the chances of them actually responding to yours is pretty unrealistic. If you have any burning questions or misconceptions or things that you're just not sure about, reach out to other creators. If it's not in the comments section, maybe they have an Instagram account or a Facebook group you can join. Reach out to other creators and ask questions. People will be happy to answer those questions if they can. And you know what, if you don't get an answer, move on, ask somebody else. But don't struggle or be fearful of not loading something just because you have a question that somebody may well very easily respond and help you with. So the next thing I recommend, and some people have difficulty with this, but you need to be your own marketer. You have to advertise, you have to spread the word. Don't just rely on putting out a YouTube video and think that the world is going to come and find you. It really does not work that way in the beginning. If you do have other social media platforms, go ahead, spread the word, make an Instagram story, post on your Instagram, post in Facebook groups, spread the word, ask your friends and family to share the video links. And this is something that you have to be consistent with. Every single time I upload a video, I have a set process that I follow. I make sure I put a post on my Instagram account, I make sure I put a story up on my Instagram account, I make sure I inform everybody in my Facebook group, and I make that post public. If I'm a member of other Facebook groups, YouTube or crafting related, on the days that it's allowed, if it is allowed, because every group has a rule. And this is something that you really have to be consistent with if you want to continue to grow your audience. Don't be shy, push yourself and just ask. So the next thing I really would like to press home to you is follow the rules. There are lots and lots of groups, especially on Facebook, that they will disguise themselves as supporting YouTube's, growing your channels. Quite a lot of them, unfortunately, are what they call sub for subs. So if you put your link out on one of these groups, people will inundate you with, I will follow you and I will sub and I will commit to viewing and you have to sub me back. Do not do this. This is actually against the YouTube rules. But subscribers don't matter. It's the people who are watching your videos. What would be the point of having, say, 1,000 subscribers if only one person watches your videos? That would be really disheartening to start with, and also there'd be absolutely no point. It's, if you like, a false economy. So please do not be led down that path. It's very, very easy. Even when you follow other YouTubers, from time to time, some of these sneaky buggers get in on the comments and they'll say, you know, who's been a subscriber since 19 whatever, whatever. And then, you know, read more, and then you open the comment, because most of the people commenting, you know, we're interested, we like to share opinions. So naturally people will click, and then 9 times out of 10, that person is saying, I will give the next 100 followers. Don't go down the rabbit hole with that. As I said, you could jeopardize your YouTube channel, and it's just not worth it. You won't get a true idea of how your channel is growing. And actually, if your content is, you know, good, or you need to tweak it, you'll just get absolutely no feedback from that at all. So please follow the rules, it's really important. So I did briefly mention this when I discussed advertising and being your own brand manager. You should also consider having other social media platforms or channels at your disposal. A lot of people who have like the crafting channels, they'll actually have blogs, they have Etsy stores, they'll be part of other communities, Ravelry groups. They'll have like a whole network of other channels that they're running, if you like a business. And you have to consider though, that is a lot of work, and you have to regularly update everything. But it is a good way of advertising, spreading the word about your brand, and also gaining new followers. And each of the channels often support each other. So we're almost at the end of my tips. What I would like to say is, make sure this is something that you enjoy. Make sure it is fun. If you ever get into the situation of somebody trolling you, leaving nasty comments, if that happens to you, you are in control. This is your channel. You can turn off the comments. There is a feature called Disable Comments in the YouTube Creator Studio. You can actually take a break. You can pull down videos if you're getting a lot of flack, or it's not made you happy, or you don't feel comfortable with the way you edited something. You are in control. That's the most important lesson that you should learn from being a YouTube creator. Have fun and make sure you enjoy it. So number 10 on my list, which actually loops us back to the first point, is go back regularly and check your plans. Check that you're on track. Don't lose sight of what your channel was supposed to achieve for you. Check if your goals are still the same goals. Do you need to tweak something? You know, going back and having a good review of what you started out and how things have progressed over a length of time is really, really useful to do. And as I just mentioned in point 9, if at any point it stops becoming fun, simply just stop. So this is something that I've been meaning to do for a while. Often in my vlogs and my tutorials, and especially over Vlogmas, I love to give shout outs to other channels that I like to watch, because as I said in my tips, I don't just subscribe, I actually do view content. I sit down and really, really love to watch YouTube. It's actually become a replacement for the television for me, really. So I wanted to give you only 10 channels that I watch, even though I've got, you know, well over 100 in my subscription list. The list is not in order of favourites. However, the very first one I am going to mention is, sorry guys, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's actually a dear friend of mine who her channel is just amazing. It's Louise, no surprise, from Liberty Saying Crochet. Louise is like a pretty much all-round kind of channel. She covers amigurumi, she covers crochet, she covers knitting, she also does some vlog style. She lives in a beautiful part of America, North Carolina. Her uploads are an absolute joy to watch. Occasionally some of her family members might be in there, and that I'm talking about her fur babies too. So go and check Ellie's channel out and say hello from me. And I know you're watching, Ellie, so thank you so much. You've been an amazing support to me over the last 12 months, not just on my Instagram, but with my YouTube channel. You've been such a support and a soundboard to me, so thank you. I appreciate you so much. The second channel I am going to mention, this is somebody I've only known recently, and we actually sort of discovered each other during Vlogmas. I'm talking about Janette, lovely Janette from Crafty Eclectic Creations. Janette's actually from the northwest of England, where I'm from, and when I first started watching her channel, I was like, oh, I know that accent, and I reached out to her, and then, you know, when you just hit it off with somebody instantly. So Janette does really lovely vlogs, mainly once a week she uploads. She talks about things that she's up to. She's an amazing sewer, an amazing knitter, also crochets. She's like an all-round crafter, and you know, occasionally some of her family members appear, and Tim, her lovely husband, sometimes he's been in the kitchen showing us how he makes things. So as Janette is actually from my neck of the woods, so to speak, I'm really hoping this year that we'll actually get to meet in person. I would love to meet Janette. Again, Janette is another one of these people that we just had an instant click. Okay, number 3 on the list is Ellie from Little Drops of Wonderful. And again, I've not been watching Ellie that long. Louise was the one who recommended Ellie to me. You see the connection? We all recommend each other. So Ellie is also a vlogger. She's a knitter and crocheter. You've seen a pattern here. And she actually vlogs about her family life with her 2 girls and her lovely husband. She does lovely videos, and occasionally you get to see some of the English countryside, and she's just really good fun. Go and check out Ellie. Ellie kindly mentioned my channel in her Vlogmas, so some of you will probably hear from Ellie's channel as well, so thanks for joining, guys. I really enjoyed Ellie's Vlogmas. It was hilarious. Okay, the next person I'm going to mention is the lovely Ellie from Craft House Magic. Ellie is she comes across on camera as she's such a happy person. When I watch Ellie, I always feel like I smile a lot. You know, I've always got this smile on my face. Her laugh is really infectious, and she laughs a lot on her vlogs. And Ellie is also a crafter. She's actually a yarn dyer as well, but my goodness, the crafts that Ellie does, I actually made a comment once that I wanted to go to her house and play with all her stuff. She spins, she makes lace, she sews, she knits, she crochets. Yeah, there's pretty much everything, you know, Ellie does. So go and check Ellie's channel out. I know that a lot of you have recently joined my channel because Ellie kindly mentioned me recently, much to my surprise, which I was so grateful for. Ellie has a guest appears quite regularly in her vlog called Barbara. Barbara is her model. If you watch Ellie's vlogs, please, I hope you do, and you see Barbara, you will really laugh at Barbara. Go and check Ellie's channel out. The next one I'm going to mention is, I've actually discovered this person really recently, and actually one of you guys, one of my lovely viewers out there, mentioned her to me, and that's Claire from Sporgy in her 40s. I want to say Sporgy 40s, but it's not right. Sporgy in her 40s. And Claire actually does really nice chit-chat vlogs, like story times. And again, she lives in a beautiful part of the UK, so you get to see some of the countryside. Actually, one of her recent vlogs, she went and she took us to a stately home with her mum and dad. Her dad's hilarious. And, you know, it was just beautiful. So she makes absolutely lovely videos, and her editing, it's very sort of soft and calm, and you know, I like watching Claire. You know, it makes me sort of feel like at the end of the evening it's like, oh, all cozy and warm, so that's really nice. So go and check out Claire, and I'm sure you'll enjoy her. Actually, in a roundabout way, the reason I am watching Claire from Sporgy in her 40s is I actually watch Jo, who's a middle-aged minx. Jo's actually a radio presenter for the BBC, amongst other things, because that woman is like a machine. She does everything. So Jo is actually a vlogger. She lives in the south of England. I think she actually lives in London. So you get to really see, you know, some beautiful parts of the city. If you've never been to London, watch Jo. This is the thing why I started watching Jo is, Jo sometimes makes vlogs in her car with her mum, and it's the most adorable thing you can watch. I can sit there like gripped by them, and they're just chatting, but you can tell they've got an amazing relationship, and they're like a comedy duo. So go and check out Jo. So it was actually Jo interviewed somebody. I wasn't going to mention her because she's a real, you know, one of the big gunners, and I was mentioning some of the smaller channels in today's video, but I watched Louise Pentland. So Louise is like the bonus mention, and in the interview Jo was saying, you know, about Louise is like compared to the kids, you know, she's like a mummy and she's an older vlogger, and how she sort of paved the way for older vloggers, and I actually commented on that. So it was actually one of Joe's viewers who mentioned Claire to me. So, you know, seeing the connection, we're all sort of watching each other's channels and we like similar things. So anyway, go watch Middle Aged Minx. Joe is hilarious. Okay, the next one I'm going to mention is, compared to most of the channels I've just mentioned, is you know, she's grown to be quite a big channel now, and that's Catherine from Dainty Diaries. And I've watched Catherine for some time now, when my channel was called something different because it was the boys' channel for watching Minecraft. And Catherine's Irish, she lives in Ireland, and she, you know, she takes you all around Ireland. She does travel vlogs, but she also does amazing tutorials, sewing lessons, painting, upcycling things, fascinating, beautiful stuff that she makes. And she has her gorgeous cat Blondie, who is constantly climbing all over her work when she's filming. She's so adorable. But again, Catherine, so here's a funny story. So Catherine actually recently hit the 100,000 subscriber mark, which is amazing. Well done her. And because she got fed up waiting for the YouTube subscriber plaque that you get, the little button, she did a tutorial on how to make her own, which I thought was hilarious. So anyway, I know she's actually received her plaque now, so amazing. Well done, Catherine. Go and check her channel out. Even though it's a bigger channel than some of the ones that I normally watch, she still draws you in and makes you feel really welcome. And she does check her comments still. I've had a few nice chit chats with Catherine. So if you do, say hi from me. The next one I'm going to mention is, so we're veering off the crafting side now, and I'm not a big sort of a cookery person, but I got to know this lady firstly from Instagram. I'm talking about Sylvia from Vintage Kitchen Vixen. And Sylvia's actually from Canada, and she makes really, really fun and simple, super easy and often healthy recipes. And her channel's a little bit different in that she starts off, you know, she tells you what you need and the reason why she's doing the video, and then she flicks the video into what she calls silent mode, and it's a little bit like the old Charlie Chaplin silent movies kind of thing. So that's really quirky. But her recipes, they're always really easy to follow, and often ingredients that I can get hold of. So go and check Sylvia out, you know, show her some love. Also, the clue is in her name, vintage. She always has like amazing pin curls, and she actually wears like vintage, like 50s, 40s style clothing. So she looks great. So go and say hi to Sylvia from me. Okay, almost at the end of the list. This is also a slightly bigger channel, but I've mentioned this one before. RosieHenshaw, that's the name of her channel, and her name is Rosie. Rosie is hilarious. I think she's been on YouTube for quite a while. Rosie doesn't know anything about editing. She'll say, I'm just going to go and pop and pick this up, and then you're sort of sat there with a blank screen. I find that hilarious, and it's so natural. She's just herself. She speaks 10 to the dozen, but she does amazing shopping hauls. She tries everything on, really honest reviews. She's like me, you know, she's a bit of a sort of curvy lady, and she's got no shame. She just strips off and tries on. But I love that because, you know, she shops at like high street stores, and you know, like Primark, H&M, Zara, wherever. And she tries things on, and she'll really give you an honest opinion and show you, well, this is a size, whatever, this is how it looks on me. So amazing, the try-ons and the hauls that she does. But she also does lots and lots of like craft tutorials, and they're often, she crams quite a lot in one. So my God, you get a lot for your money with Rosie. You know, it's really like bonus content. So go and check Rosie out. She is really infectious. She's always really bubbly, and she keeps saying she has to stop doing this, but she always, for the regular, she always goes, hello, and then she goes, I have to stop doing that. Please don't ever stop it, Rosie, if you ever watch this. I don't know if she will or not. But okay, the very, very last person I'm going to mention, and this is completely left field of all the channels I've been talking about, but I do want to mention this person because, as I said in my sort of 10 tips for YouTube channels, one of the things that I recommend that you don't do is that you don't get involved in all these sub for subs. Now, there is a YouTube group that I follow on Facebook, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. I have not found anybody friendly or interested or remotely bothered about my content of my YouTube channel. I joined it at the beginning stupidly. I haven't left the group. I'm glad I haven't now because of who I'm going to mention. Sometimes people, I've seen like an upsurge in views when I've posted there occasionally. Nobody's bothered subscribing, and I just get bombarded with messages from random people, you know, asking me to sub them back. However, I did decide to post one of my vlogs a while ago now, and somebody responded, and that's a guy called Tony, and it's like, I have to get my mouth around this. Tony's channel is Songwriters Shop. And Tony actually, he's a songwriter. He's from Ireland. Tony reached out to me on the Facebook post, and his first impression was, does anybody support anybody in this group? And I was really honest, and I said, Tony, forget it. Nobody supports anybody. They're all looking for subs. But you know, if I can help you with anything, let me know. Although I don't suppose my channel's really your cup of tea. And so we ended up sort of building a bit of a friendship in the group, and you know, Tony said, well, I'll go and watch your channel as like a pair of fresh eyes, and you know, if I see something or have suggestions, would you be open to that? Please critique the channel. And I did the same for him. So he has. And you know what? Tony has watched every one of my vlogs since, and I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And I don't know anything about songwriting. Actually, that's a lie, because I know a little bit about songwriting now from Tony. But he'll cover things like the greats, you know, and then explain how they've written their lyrics and broken things down, and you know, it's fascinating. So if you're not interested in songwriting yourself, maybe somebody you know is, you know, like one of your kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews, you know, he's really got a wealth of knowledge. And yeah, even though I'm not really interested in songwriting, I've watched and been fascinated by his uploads and actually learned quite a lot. Anyway, on that note, that's my list of 10 YouTube channels that I follow, and some of them I have a really lovely relationship, and some of them don't know I exist. That's okay, that's fine, with a bonus of Louise Pentland thrown in. If you're not familiar, Louise is like one of the OGs from YouTube. I think she's been on YouTube like 10 or 12 years now, I can't remember. If you do go and check any of them out, say hello from me, how you found their channel. I actually love to know how subscribers have found my channel, and when I know you've come from another channel, it's like, oh, that's so nice. Okay guys, I've rambled on enough now. I hope you enjoyed the tips. I hope you enjoyed the list of recommendations. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for making it to 1 year on YouTube. How amazing is that?